What's up and welcome back to the channel. The name is Ninja Knight. Make sure you like the video, make sure you share the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell up above for future uploads. Thank you. So Hasbro Pulse has finally confirmed the new Lightning Collection figures. Now I've talked about these in previous videos when the rumours started to come along, and I'm delighted to see that we have confirmation of what's going to come next. I've also heard a rumour that In Space Black is coming very soon. So I don't know whether that's going to be an exclusive to a certain company or whether that's going to be in a wave of its own. We'll just have to wait and see. So the first one up here, we have Dino Thunder Blue Ranger. I think he looks absolutely phenomenal. The head sculpts, again, like I said, are quite off in my opinion. So whether that's a likeness issue, I don't know whether that's a problem, or maybe just the sculptor that's working on these lines is too overworked and they're just kind of half getting it out there. And some of the stuff that Hasbro are doing as well too, in my opinion, is quite strange. We have gold trim on the neck here of Dino Thunder Blue. That is something that we should have seen on Dino Thunder Red, but we didn't. So I don't know what's going on with the inconsistencies. We're also seeing here the morpher here is painted in white, or it's just made in white. Why is that not even just blue? We're seeing Red had a morpher that was all red. So this is a strange decision, and an awful lot of people were very happy when Power Rangers moved over from Bandai to Hasbro, but to me, we still have the same problems that are occurring. We still have a company that owns all of this merchandise, that owns all of this as a brand, and still they're getting stuff wrong. I don't know what's happening with this line. I'm hoping personally that John Warden has come on board. He's a fantastic guy. He has been absolutely so important to Transformers over the last number of years. And with him in charge, I think that we will see a quality start to rise in this line. And I also do think that we will see the minor details start to get picked out more often and be more consistent, because that is something he did with Transformers. Dino Thunder Blue looks absolutely wonderful other than that though, other than those nitpicks. And I have to say the helmet for the character looks quite good. I love this accessory that's coming with him, particularly with the weapon. And I think that is a great idea. It's a fairly decent and sizable chunk of plastic, which I'm very happy to see, because something that I think a lot of people thought about over the last number of weeks, months, was going to be, are these figures going to come with the accessories? Well, yes, they are. So this is a fantastic look at what we're going to see in the future, hopefully. Next up we have SPD Pink. She looks good. It's a character that I am very interested in. I'm surprised that we didn't see a 2-pack with this character. And because it's a single pack, are we going to see now the A Squad version of this as a single pack, or will we see Pink coming again in a 2-pack? This is something that Hasbro has done in the last couple of months, where they have 2-pack characters and then suddenly they release them as a single release. It's a strange move in my opinion, so it's something to keep an eye on. Yes, Hasbro do packs at times, and sometimes they do re-release similar characters in those packs. But to me, it's kind of unusual when you release one version of a Ranger and then you're releasing it again, then single version of it. Kind of unusual. So here we have the head sculpt. It's not great. This is something that I've been talking about extensively with this line. The head sculpts, particularly with the human head sculpts in this line, they're very hit and miss. Sometimes they're a very passable recollection, or I suppose reconstruction of what the actors look like, and other times they are way off. Now what I'm going to say is this: if you can nail the Ghostbusters likenesses, if you can nail Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, Ernie Hudson, you shouldn't have an issue then nailing characters that are from a short time ago. What is going on here? I would similarly now, I have to say, I'll be honest with you on this one, I would rather them focus on the Ranger modes, give us more weapons, give us accurate weapons, give us paint, rather than giving us the civilian heads. Are you with me on that? Drop a comment below and let me know if you are. Because we've actually seen some of the actors that have been in these roles, likes of Walter Emmanuel Jones, the original Black Ranger, Zack, be very unhappy with how the figure looks. And who can blame him, because I mean, it looks nothing like him. This is a very bad likeness in my opinion. It's probably not going to be fixed by now, so that's disappointing. Next up here now we have a re-release of Lost Galaxy Red, and he's coming here with his blaster as opposed to the sword, I should say. And I think that this looks really cool. It's a nice big accessory. I have to say, it was something that I was complaining about beforehand. I was like, why are they releasing this as a single release? Well, when you're doing things like this, introducing a new weapon, I suppose it's going to make me double dip. Let's be honest. They do have to reuse some of these molds, particularly the head sculpts for the Ranger mode. So I can't really begrudge them too much on that one. I would have liked to see some other Lost Galaxy characters, or if you were going to do this in a team pack later on down the road, something like that would have been decent. But again, I'm not really sure what the thinking was on this. Looking at the figure here now, we can see that the peg is out of the joint when it's trying to hold the blaster. So is that going to be something that's going to be a problem looking at this figure going on down the road? He's holding it here, not a problem, but the joint is out to get this pose. Is he going to be able to make this pose? This is a big question. So maybe they might have to look into either ball hinges now for the wrists, or maybe they will have to look in maybe alternate wrists that they can move in different ways to accompany this sort of pose. Here we have now an alternate head sculpt. So this is completely different to the head sculpt that we got in the Psycho Ranger 2-pack. So I'm not quite sure what Hasbro are doing. Why are they redoing a similar head and it looks completely different? This, in my opinion, probably looks a little bit worse off than the first one did. What is going on here? I would love to know why they've decided to do this. I would love to know what's going on at Hasbro to decide, right, alter the head and alter it differently. Maybe they thought of something that I had said earlier on, which is there's not enough changes in this here. Is a blaster going to sell? Is that enough? And they put in an alternate head. Maybe that was the idea. But if you're putting in a new head, new civilian head, at least make it more accurate to what the actor looked like, not less accurate to what he looks like. It's a strange move in my opinion. Now this likeness, I have to say, is wonderful. So this is what I'm talking about in terms of hits and misses and hit and miss. This is a very good likeness for Adam. It's a very good likeness for Johnny Young Bosch. If I was Johnny Young Bosch, I'd be pretty happy with this one. I think that this is fairly decent. Now, this is something as well too that we could have a re-release of the MMPR Black with this head. We could have a version of Turbo with this head, maybe with an alternate hair sculpt. We could have a 90s movie version of the Power Rangers, and this could be the head sculpt that they could use in that. So this has a few different ideas surrounding it. Zeo Green here looks really good though. I have to say, I'm definitely buying this as soon as I can, and I think that this looks absolutely wonderful. Big fan of the head sculpt on this one. This head sculpt under this lighting again looks very good. Maybe if we got it under different lighting, will it look as good? I suppose we'll wait and see. But that does look absolutely fantastic. I have to give credit where credit is due on that one. Comes with the alternate weapons as well too, so that really makes me think, why did Rocky Zeo Blue not come with his? Again, Rocky was another one that had a head sculpt that was absolutely terrible. It didn't look anything like Steve Cardenas, and maybe that's something they might look at later on down the line. Look, we'll re-release Zeo Blue, maybe in a 2-pack, maybe in a 5-pack, something like that, and they will give him his weapons and a better likeness to Steve Cardenas. Anything is possible now at the moment, and like I said, I think John Warden coming into this line will want to have good quality control. He will want to have a high standard for this line. Here we can see some paint rub here, so hopefully that doesn't affect the figure too much. And this is another thing I want to talk about. The QC in this line has been very hit and miss as well too. I would like to see that step up. You are inevitably going to have people in the comments or in different sort of circles say, well, it's only a $20 figure. Well, you should hold these companies to a higher standard. If they are pumping out these figures at $20, they're increasing now to $25.99 here in Ireland, because Ireland has just imported some of this. I want to see something that's a very good bang for my buck in that. I'm not just paying €25.99, nearly €26 for something that looks incomplete, has missing weapons, has a very dodgy looking head. I want it to be nailed, because if this is going to be a line where I'm going to be buying multiples, maybe hundreds of Power Rangers and villains as well too now, you're going to have the quality control be good. You're going to have to make me confident in that line. Look at some of the other lines that are a little bit more high priced, like some Mafex for example, or Mayfex as some people will call them. The quality of that line is very good. I don't have an issue with ordering any of that stuff online. I'm like, yeah, it's going to be quality, thanks very much, I'll have that. This is not something they can do with Power Rangers Lightning Collection at the moment. I have to walk into the store and look at about 4 or 5 of them before I find one that's even acceptable. Like some of the chips out of the helmets, for example, not good enough. Paint missing, paint going across, visors incorrectly painted, scuffing along here. I mean, that's gold paint here on the shoulder where it's white and then it goes into green plastic. Why is that there? This is a promo image. So that's what I'm thinking about when I'm looking at this figure and for the figures going forward. I want to see this be improved going forward. Hopefully Hasbro will do something. That's my talk for today in terms of this one. Make sure you like the video, share the video, subscribe.